Hello everybody, it's Diana here from Aspect Astrology, and today we're going to be covering off the intense energy of the blood full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. This is going to be a really big astro energy. There's lots of stuff occurring over the next week. But the effects of which will probably last into the next 6 months at least. So this post is a little bit longer than usual, so bear with me because there's a lot to go through. Okay, so on Wednesday this week, we're going to be experiencing the blood full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. That's going to occur on the 26th at 9:12 p.m. in Australia. And it's going to be followed up with Mercury turning retrograde on the 29th. So that's a bit of a double whammy. Let's break it down. Okay, we're going to start with one point. Let's start firstly with the fact that it's a full moon. So it represents the energy of release, of letting go, of things coming to an end, and making way for something new. So that's what full moons are always about. But it's also a blood moon, meaning the moon is literally physically closer to the earth. So the impact of its energies are going to be felt more intensely. And it's also a lunar eclipse. And eclipses are when the earth is literally sandwiched between the sun and the moon. And in astrological terms, eclipses are important because they elevate and they amplify the energy of the full moon. So things are sped up and accelerated. So we've got like a triple whammy there. Now the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius and it's in opposition to the sun, which is in Gemini. So what will this mean? Well, for a start, this full moon will be most poignant for anyone with the sun, the moon, or ascendant in Sagittarius and Gemini, but it's also going to be felt by the other mutable signs of Virgo and Pisces. It occurs at 5 degrees Sagittarius. So those of you who actually do know your chart, check to see where that falls, as this will be the area that gets activated at this time. Okay, so at its most basic level, this full moon is asking us to look at what needs to be changed or adjusted in a Sagittarian type of way. So we'll break that down. Sagittarius energy at its essence is about expanding the consciousness of understanding and belief via our philosophies and our spirituality, our education and or travel. So these elements are all connected in their own way because each one of them broadens the mind to take in new ideas, new experiences, and ultimately assists us in understanding the world and our place in it. Sagittarius is the truth seeker and astrologically a strong influencer in how we structure our belief systems, our philosophies, our ideas. And so in this regard, the full moon energy alone is asking us to look at our belief systems, our relationship with our spirituality, our perspectives, and at a base level, what it is that we actually believe to be true. And perhaps we need to question that. So it's really a period in which you can use these energies to let go of what no longer serves you, or what's no longer accurate in your belief or your philosophical and truth systems. So is there something that you have believed about yourself that perhaps is actually no longer true? And you hold outdated beliefs that you have constructed or have been subconsciously constructed from family or societal expectations of you. If so, it's time to question these beliefs, your inner dialogues, question your inner dialogues and whether they're healthy and whether they're serving you and whether you need them any longer. And if you don't, this is the time to let them go. The eclipse is also about looking at all the shoulds that we surround ourselves with. It's about looking at the belief or spiritual structures we are told to believe by our family, for example. It's about examining our judgments of ourselves and others and determining whether or not this still serves us. It can be a time of opening up and facing those things that we have been afraid to confront, or what we've been afraid of doing for fear of doing the wrong things in the eyes of others. So all those things are there to explore. At its essence, I hope that this eclipse is about setting yourself free of limiting beliefs, shoulds, and fears. Sag as an energy is all about inspirational growth via expanding one's ideas, beliefs, and philosophies. Growth by educating ourselves, or travel where we're exposed to new and exciting ideas. And judgment and living with others' expectations shuts down our growth. And Sagittarius energy needs to grow continuously. So this lunar eclipse is really going to be shining a light on anything that helps us understand the world and asks us to question it without our rose-colored glasses on. The eclipse is about changing the way you are growing and planting new seeds for inner growth. So starting from now, you could begin to ask yourself a lot of these sorts of questions and take a look within and reassess. And if you discover that there really are some, old beliefs that no longer work for you, write them down, and then on the actual day of the full moon, safely burn the list, that is, to let them go. And then when the new moon lunar eclipse occurs in a few weeks, solar eclipse, you can begin to write those intentions for the new growth, new direction, new beliefs that will help you grow. So occurring around the same time as this period of the eclipse, we also have the ruling planet of Sagittarius, Jupiter, in the sign of Pisces. And again, this is another sort of symbology that's asking us to let go and be transparent about what's real and what's not real for us in any area of your life. It's harder to do than say, as we're often so imbued with our own stuff that we can't actually see the trees for the forest, so to speak. So it might be worth thinking about being brave enough to ask those who know you best to be honest with you about where they feel this may be happening for you. But at the end of the day, and ultimately, it is about self-forgiving and self-accepting who you were and who you will be. Eclipses ask for a change, so change does need to occur. So get cleaning out and get releasing of the old parts of yourself to make way for the new. The Sagittarian endpoint is always to find meaning in life, meaning in both the smallest and the most significant ways. So you can also use this time to assess what brings real meaning for your life for now, as this process is an ever-evolving one as we traverse life's path. One day you're convinced you have the meaning of life all worked out, only to have an event or a circumstance propel you towards a completely different truth and meaning. The process is fundamentally endless. A few days after this full moon eclipse, our friend Mercury, who is currently at home in the sign of Gemini, turns retrograde, appearing to turn backward in the sky. Lots of people know about Mercury retrograde, and yes, it's, lots of things like computers not working, not finding your car keys, your car not working. But on an inner level, it's about reviewing, reconnecting, re-examining the Gemini type qualities like our communications, our connections, and potentially also finding information and learnings where we may not have been expecting them. But of course, this is also a time to check the details, dot your I's, cross your T's. Don't sign any contracts, try not to get into negotiations. And with all the other planetary influences around the same time, if something appears too good to be true, it really probably is. It's not the time to look through life through rose-colored glasses. So there is a lot going on, and this energy will be challenging for some. But remember, it can really bring an opportunity to help see your world differently. So if you are interested in finding out more about how astrology can help you personally, please email me at diana@aspectastrology.com.au or book directly on my website. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Insta and Facebook, and I will see you shortly. I hope this lunar eclipse brings you change that you really want and deserve in your life. Cheers.